Well, good morning. It's 5 to 8 and I'm just leaving this Breakaways camp. I think I'm the last because I was actually up at 10 past 6 and it's now 5 to 8, but I've been mucking around trying to program these offline maps. I was trying to program my GPSs. I've got it done, but anyway. We're at the intersection now, so we're turning right. I did get my GPS on the Google Maps going on my iPad. It's just I've got 3 of them. Alright, I'm full of flies here, so I'm going to turn this off. Okay, well this looks like we're getting onto the first part of the gravel road. There was a notice there that said a grade is ahead, so we'll see. So that's 57 k's outside of Laverton that the gravel road starts. That camp spot I was in last night was really great, and there was a few campers actually that arrived a little bit later, and I had actually moved a fair way away from the main thing. About just after 6:30, when it's sort of dark, I can't come over. It was a truck pulled up, and it was only about 30 metres from where I sat. It was a bit disconcerting because you think you've got this whole area, and they come and I had a light on, and they must have seen it, and that was it. So, but anyway, that's the price you pay, if you like. You don't actually get privacy. But the interesting thing was that it actually had not internet, but I had bars on my phone, so I could catch up with what was going on at home. So that's always good to be able to be in contact. But we're heading now out to towards Cosmo Newberry. We won't be stopping there. I'm heading now to the Tjukayirla roadhouse, and I'll stop there, and I think that's about 305 k's from Laverton, which take off 57, about 260 odd k's. So we're singing along here at 100k indicated, but it's 90 kilometres on the actual GPS, 2,220 revs, and everything seems to be going fine. Road is quite smooth at the moment, although we won't expect that to continue. Well, we're driving into the sun obviously because we're heading sort of northeast. I hope this comes out alright. Just nothing much we can do about it, but this is the state of the road at the moment. Yep, put the lights on. That's the first car. Well, this is always a welcome sight. But when you actually see the grader, when you know that it's up ahead, it's fine. But then, beyond that, how far has he gone? Or where has he come from? And this GPS is driving me crazy now. There he is. Past the turn off into Cosmo Newberry, so I guess that's where the grader driver was domiciled. So now we don't know, we're in unknown territory as far as the road conditions are concerned at the moment. Well, according to Dr. Google, about 200 k's from the Tjukayirla roadhouse. We're cruising along here at 2,000 revs. Indicated speed is 90, but I'm actually doing 82. And the road is not too bad considering. And I have to every now and again put my air conditioner onto the demister to try and cool my GPSs, which are stuck on the dashboard. And occasionally they get very hot because the sun is, we're almost going directly into the sun at the moment, and these electronic devices can get quite hot, and if they do, they just shut down. So that's if you can hear that. I don't know whether you can hear the background noise anyway, but that's why every now and again I blow the cool air up off the windscreen to cool the poor Garmin and the nav man down. Anyway, very nice driving along here at the moment. I've only seen one other car coming the other way, and nobody's passed me, so things are going fine. Well, there it is. This is what we've got for 1100 k's, at least till we get to Yalara, I guess. Thinking to myself, I was driving along, how very few parking places, designated parking places there are along this road. And just as I was thinking that, there was a real faded sign that I hardly saw on the right hand side of the road, and there was a parking area in there, and I thought, oh crikey, I was past it before I realised. So I'm waiting for another one on the left hand side of the road so that I don't have to cross it. Not that it makes much difference, but I want to check my fridge connection in the back, because in the front here one of my GoPro GPSs is getting knocked out, and I keep getting warnings saying the battery is critically low, and what it is the 12-volt plug point is vibrating out. So that's why I'll stop soon. I'll find somewhere to stop. Meanwhile, Dr. Google says I'm 181 k's from Tjukayirla roadhouse. Shit, maybe that's the next stop. There's another grader. Just stick to this side of the road because some of that looks a bit bull dusty in places. Now we're getting some traffic. I just crossed over onto the smoothie side of the road. It is too. road here. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Maybe I'll just go along to the shady tree. Every now and again I hear somebody on the radio, but I haven't seen anybody yet. Okay, I'll just go and check my fridge connections. Right. I thought about having a coffee, but I've actually been drinking water on the way, and there's a sign ahead. Look at this. Maybe it is time for a coffee. Unbelievable. Okay, well, I just checked the connections. Yes, this loose little Navman 12-volt connector must be a bit loose. I just noticed that can come out. That one. That's my inverter for the Canon battery. I just pulled that out. Okay, on we go. Rattle, rattle, rattle. We've still got 145 to Tjukayirla. Woo. It's only 380 to Warburton. Okay. I see you, lads. Where is he? Second bloke. Here comes the second guy, I think, or is that a truck in front? Roadworks, okay. Safe to pass you, mate?
Yeah, come round in here, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. It's to the mine. I'm not going to the mine. That's the Gruyere mine. They must be mining cheese. Gruyere. And here we go. Back onto the bull dust. Notifications. This is a bit of a gnarly section. I was actually listening on the two-way radio to the truckers, and they're comparing notes and asking questions about how the road is, and whether, you know, at some stage where they can pick up the pace. There's an old wreck over there on the right. So you just have to drive to the conditions, as they say. I'm down to about 1500 revs and I'm just poking along at 60, trying not to shake everything loose in the vehicle. As you can see, quite corrugated in spots, but that's to be expected. Here's another old one that didn't make it. Oh yeah, as you can see. Yep, my GPS just spat it. I'll pull over a minute, reconnect all my fittings, and I just lost my fuse cover case. I just felt it hit my knee. Okay, so found this nice spot off the road. I just passed it. I thought, oh, I'm going in here. So it's going to be a bit of a cup of tea, I think, or a cup of coffee. Whew. Warm and the flies are in force. So here's my little stop off point for a cup of coffee, and over in the distance is another vehicle that didn't make it. Anyway, I've been checking out and I actually had to tighten one of my grunt straps up here on the roof rack, that one up there with the blue, because my max tracks were actually pulling or sliding a little bit. And this morning, interestingly enough, there was a gigantic big huntsman spider in there, and I don't know where he is. He might still be travelling with us. I just discovered one of my tyres is down quite a lot. So That's the same as the other one. Okay. I've actually got them at 38 PSI, but I'm a bit wondering whether this has got a leak in it now, because the other ones are all fine. Anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, that was probably fortunate to stop there for coffee, because the tyre was down to below 20 PSI. So we'll keep an eye on it. We've pumped it up, as you saw. Now, I need to clean my glasses. Excuse me while I do so. While I was doing that tyre and having my coffee there at that stop, I saw a fellow in a motorbike heading this way. And he wasn't going very fast. I sort of started to think, whoa, how would you be on a motorbike on these corrugated roads? It can't be very comfortable, because he wasn't going very fast, I can assure you. Sometimes the other side of the fence is a lot smoother. However, there's a crest. We're going to move over. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? Hey, where would you rather be? Sitting in an office or out here with me? I'm so lucky to still be able to do this. Look out, Magpie, or whatever you are. Here's somebody tearing along. What's my windscreen? There, see? Frickin' rock, you bastard. Brand new windscreen. Fucking miners. And the road goes on and on and on. Haven't seen any camels yet. Murder out there to walk in bare feet. Hey, stinking hot, rocky, would be hard on the feet. Think about that one. Oh, I remember this bit. This is a parking area. It's probably the old route. I just want to get off that corrugated road for a while. It goes for a kilometre or two and down this road, and then you can actually pull in here. Any shade? Nah, no shade. only little, this little patches, maybe a kilometre, 2 kilometres, and then you get onto the hard rocky stuff and it smooths out again. So I don't know. You just take it as it is and press on. Sad one. We're 19 k's now from Tjukayirla. Whoa! Hang on while I do a bit of dancing across the road. And I'm actually surprised. I haven't seen any wildlife apart from a few birds, and I saw one lizard way back, and it was sort of crossing the road and it was gone before I had a chance to film it. But I haven't seen anything else. No camels, no emus, no nothing. Not even a wedge-tailed eagle. Maybe that's because there's no roadkill. And then I also haven't seen any caravans. No caravans today. Maybe they'll come later in the day from the opposite direction. Here's the sign for Tjukayirla Roadhouse. Oh, you can do everything there, 5 k's. Tjukayirla. Now, Tjukayirla, we all got to go ooh ah, because this is alleged to be the most remote roadhouse in the whole of Australia. So, I guess they have taken over the mantle from Rabbit Flat on the Tanami, which is no longer there. It's just abandoned. Anyway, we will see in 5 k's. Petroleum, we get a bit of bitumen. Oh, what a difference to be on a smooth road. It's like riding on air. Way up there. RFDS, emergency airstrip. Great Central Road. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I remember this one. This is where I kept my GoPro going forever. So I make sure I turn it off when I get to the pumps. Okay. Looks like I'm going to be the only customer. Unleaded and dish shop. Okay. See, that's what it did the last time. It actually kept going. Now turn it off. Okay, well, I just had the best burger, just a plain hamburger, that I've had. I haven't tasted one like that in years. And I've just complimented the chef because it's beautiful. What a taste. Oh, yum. All the old style ones. Anyway, this is Tjukayirla, and it is the most remote roadhouse in Australia now, and it did take over that mantle from Rabbit Flat. And the man who runs this one had previously been up on the Tanami.